What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss Channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. I have a special guest in today. It's Mr. Desmond Davidson of Total 360 Management. Total 360 Management is a management company that serves professional athletes, professionals in the entertainment industry, and all kinds of stuff. Desmond, I'll let you talk about Total 360, but how are you doing first of all this morning?
Honestly, man, I'm blessed. I've been up all night. Honestly, I have a 5-month-old daughter as of
Oh man.
tomorrow. Yeah, so I just been up for real. It's crazy. The grind never stops, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Desmond, talk to me about Total 360 Management. Just first of all, before we get to your beginnings, talk to me about what exactly your company does, what services they provide, and then I'm gonna ask you some about how this all kind of got started.
All right, yeah. Um, Total 360 Management, what we offer.
Yeah. Just kind of like what is it like? If when people hear a management company, what exactly do you guys kind of do on the day to day? How do you provide services for your clients and maybe even some of your clients that you have?
Okay, so in a nutshell, Total 360 Management is a sports management company, sport and entertainment company where we specialize in helping athletes and artists build their brand identities. How do they want to
Mm.
be perceived off the stage, off the field, off the court, in front of the world, as well as establish their foundations for community initiatives. Here at Total 360 Management, we're big on building our future leaders of tomorrow. And what better way to build our future leaders of tomorrow without using their role models, heroes that they look up to from their respective communities to actually show them everything that they're doing is possible, but also shed light on opportunities that they're unaware of.
Mm. Hey, that's awesome, man. That's really cool because it's not a lot of times that obviously we have a ton of black professional athletes, ton of black professional, entertainers, but they're not always managed or represented by people that look like them. I just want to ask you personally, what made you, as being the founder of Total 360 Management, what made you want to go into that space? What made you want to start this company and kind of go into that space?
The honest truth, failure.
Mm,
Failure is how I started this company. At Total 360 Management, we do everything for athletes except get them contracts with teams. One of our clients and also our COO, Reggie Bonifant, actually just re-signed with the Carolina Panthers to their practice squad. Reggie's entering his fourth year, and he got hurt with the Panthers during the preseason. So, he, signed an injury settlement and, parted ways with the team. But Reggie is exactly why I started my company. It's for guys that go undrafted, that don't have the notoriety from their agencies, but still have a platform and a demographic they can cater to and really, tell their story, share their experiences and really just be themselves. The reason why I say I built my company off failure is when I was in undergrad, I wanted to be an agent. I went to the University of Louisville. I was fortunate enough to be there for the year of the Cardinal when we won the Sugar Bowl, the
mm,
women's runner up for the national championship to Brittany Griner. Our guys won the NCAA championship. You can't take that away from us. If you win the title, you win the title.
yeah.
But I wanted to be an agent, and I went out. I went to grad school because you have to have a secondary degree in order to be an NFL agent. And I failed the NFLPA exam not once, but twice.
Mm,
Um, but I don't have a legal background, so I did better on this test the second time. And the difference between me taking that test, honestly, in DC, I saw. There were not a lot of people like me in that room, and that's understandable. But it's up to me to continue to pave the way and break down those barriers. I feel like I personally would have passed that test if I would have, studied the proper way, taken some courses, but I didn't have the money to take courses and really get the proper education I need to pass that exam. It was hard enough, graduating grad school, scraping up the money to pay for the exam.
yeah.
So built out failure, honestly, when it was time for me to actually take my NFLPA exam, I honestly didn't even want to be an agent anymore, but I had already paid the money. So it's
Hmm.
like, okay, come on. And then when I found out I failed, I was so depressed for like 30 minutes in the bed. You check your phone when you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I check my emails more than my text messages now, and it's kind of scary. So when I check my email and I failed, I was sad because it's something that I studied for, I worked hard towards. But in life, if you feel an emotion regarding a situation, that's a good thing because your heart's in it. So I failed and I channeled that energy to build something that I love. My equation for my company is the same equation I give to everybody that asks me for advice because I don't give advice. I can't give you advice on how to make your dreams come true because I'm still trying to figure out how mine are gonna, come to reality. But I can give you guidance because I failed a lot, I've learned a lot, and I succeeded a lot. But I don't hold my hat on successes because everybody succeeds because it's all about proper timing and preparation to succeed. But when you fail, you go back and you re-examine where you went wrong. So yeah, the reason I came up with Total 360 is because life comes full circle with everything we do.
Mm-hmm.
I just told you that my senior vice president of football operations is your cousin.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. You reached out to my friend, my little brother
Mm-hmm.
Husky, who I'm trying to help him, build his brand the right way, helping him and Brent put together a website. So I see that they love Stoop Kids just as much as I love Total 360.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you start when you build your career. You take your love in life, and my love is sports, and then your gift from God. This is only my equation. It's not in a book or anything. So your love and your passion. I mean, your love and your gift from God equal your passion. So my love is sports. My gift from God is communications. So I put those two together and I brainstormed what careers could I manifest with those two to give me my passion. And my passion of sport is actually, doing what I'm doing. I'm the CEO and founder of Total 360 Management. You'll never find another sport and entertainment consulting company like us because you alluded to the fact that it's me running the company,
Yeah.
a young black entrepreneur in America with 2 degrees, no felonies, married. I'm a threat to society if you think about it. But why do we think like that? Because we have to break down those barriers. And while I was in college, I was fortunate enough to start meeting a lot of people that look exactly like me, excelling and manifesting their goals and their visions on a daily basis. While I was in college, I had a 3.6 GPA in undergrad, but I learned while I was in college when I graduated, I figured out my biggest tool from college, how I started Total 360 Management, and that's networking. I'm a great
Yeah.
networker because of
Mm-hmm.
my gift from God. I didn't even know you was Jovan's cousin, honestly, when I told you I would, hop on your show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I didn't promote the show because I didn't want to step on your toes because I didn't see you promote the show.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, I sent it to my team and Jovan texted me and said, hey, that's my cousin. And it's a total 360 because I treat you just like I'm going to treat, you know, Michael Smith or Jamel Hill once I interview with them. So I have to
Yeah.
prepare. And I thank you, Jeff, for getting me ready for ESPN.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Once again, we're talking to Desmond Davidson of Total 360 Management. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, Desmond, you spoke about something. You guys are a networking, a management company. Just for someone who didn't play professional sports, for someone who is black, young black, and in this space, and you spoke about there's not a lot of people that look like you in some of these meetings that you're going to represent your athletes or your entertainers. Just how are you able to break through, right? Like how was Total 360 Management able to kind of make some of these deals, make some of these connections, even though you don't like you have the credentials as far as education wise and some of your networking skills, but you're not a professional athlete. You didn't come up under some big company, right? Like you didn't start up under some big, whatever. You started this on your own. How were you able to break through and kind of secure some of those deals and eventually obviously land some of those clients?
Jeff is gonna sound cliche. You want me to be honest with
And
you
be
again?
honest, man. That's all I want, man.
Everybody tuned in and everybody that's ever worked with Total 360 can attest for this. I'm the same person they met when they first met me, and I'll never change. Bro, my whole life, all I've ever tried to do is bring everybody together. So when I tell you I transferred to the University of Louisville, leaving UK, going to JCC to get my undergraduate credits, and then going to
Mm-hmm.
Louisville, which is a bigger university. Being from Louisville and living in Kentucky, I needed to utilize Jefferson County. I mean JCTC,
Mm-hmm.
however you say it,
Yeah.
the cheap credit.
Yeah.
So when I got to Louisville, it's a crazy story. My first class on campus, I was in class with Teddy Bridgewater, Eli Rogers, Sonoris Perry, and Brandon Dunn. Kid you not, I didn't know who Teddy Bridgewater, Sonoris Perry, or Eli Rogers were. But this, but this was in 2011. You fast forward later, bro, that's a decade ago. And
Yeah.
I can honestly say Teddy Bridgewater, Eli Rogers, and Sonoris Perry are some of my closest friends.
Mm.
Teddy Bridgewater is one of my best friends. That's like my little brother. So the reason why I was able to start my company is because when I first met them, the first day on campus, my vision never changed. In the world's eyes, Total 360 was built 5 years ago, this
Mm-hmm.
May. But in actuality, everybody I work with, everybody, on our staff, they've seen the grind, they've seen the blood, sweat, and tears. I don't have to speak on what I've done because I was fortunate enough when I had my first professional internship in Charlotte with the Bobcats.
Mm-hmm.
Facts, the Bobcats.
Yeah.
That's how old I am. I'm sorry. I got my youngest client, Justin Weaver. I asked him to send me his birthday, year and out. Bro, he was born in 1999. I know I'm old now. I remember what I was doing in 99.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you what I was doing in 96, but 99 I remember. But I say that to say the reason why Total 360 is a success, and no, I'm not a professional athlete, never portrayed to be one. But I will tell you this: I had a conversation with a close friend of mine, Twani Beckham. We
Mm-hmm.
just had this conversation last week. Twani is a two-time author, national champion with the University of
Get to.
Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that to say Twani's one of my closest friends, and I told him it's a blessing, bro. Me and you, we sit on the phone and we talk for hours every blue moon and just catch up, lay it out loud on the line. And we help build each other. And me and Twani was talking. I said, Twani, it's nothing but God that I'm in the position that I am, and I've always been in this position. I haven't played sports since high school. I broke my neck in high school playing football.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, God told me it was an expedited situation for me to figure out what I want to do with myself outside of playing sports. And I'm gonna be real, Jeff. You got to be careful what you ask for in life because I always told God I wanted to make it to the league. I just growing up, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted
Yeah.
to make it to the league, whether it was NBA or NFL. I didn't care. And guess what? I made it to the league, but I never
Absolutely.
told God I wanted to be playing.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I made it.
Yeah.
Not only once, I made it twice. I interned with the Bobcats in the community relations department my junior year, going into my senior year in undergrad. And then when I was in grad school, I needed another internship. So I was going to intern with the Hawks marketing department. I got the internship. They were one of the only NBA teams that paid at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was during the executive management scandal when they had some
I
company
remember that.
restructure, so they
Yeah.
canceled their internship program. So me, I'm graduating in 6 months, and I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to graduate? I need an internship. But me, my work speaks volumes. Like I did over 10 internships in college and only got paid for one by Tony Butler at St. Francis High School. That's my guy. Tony took care of me. It was only $500 over a semester, but you can stretch that gas money out in
Absolutely.
college.
Absolutely.
So so I say that to say, the same way I got another internship with the Hornets, I called Jackie Queen, who was over, the HR department, and I knew Jackie because previously I built a relationship with her.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Hey, Jackie, I'm in a bind. I need an internship. I know y'all don't pay. I don't mind. You know my work ethic." She said, "You got two choices, Desmond. You can work in b-ball ops, or you can work in PR. And I'm gonna be real with you. I was scared to work in PR, Jeff. You work in PR.
Yeah.
I am not a writer. You hear me?
Yeah.
I can speak well, but when I try to put my words on paper, it's like they will never come out. I don't
Yeah.
understand that. My wife can attest to that. I couldn't even write my vows for her. I had to stand at the altar and really just come a cappella because that's the
Yeah.
only way she was gonna know it came from the heart. So that's total 360, bro. It's like me and God the whole way. And it's a total 360. No matter what direction I go, life comes full circle every day.
Awesome, man. That's a heck of a testament, man. That's awesome. Once again, I'm talking to Desmond Davidson of Total 360 Management. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, Desmond, I'm going to pull up your website. Now, talk to me. You spoke about a little bit about Joe and about Reggie, but talk to me about some other members of your team. I mean, you got some professional athletes on here. Jamon Brown, I know, played in the league. Calvin Pryor was a first-round pick in the NFL. Just talk to me about your team and building this team. What came about? How were you able to put it together? And what do these guys bring to the table for Total 360 Management?
Everybody that you see on that list brings something to the table that I lack. Where I lack, they lead. Where I lead, they lack sometimes, but we pick each other up. Like I told you, we can start at the top. It's not gonna take long at all. I put the team
Okay.
together. I put the team together with what I needed to succeed in life. It was just me. I had 100% of nothing, and I'm fine with that. Cool. I had people that really believed in my vision, and the first person that truly believed in my vision is my COO, Reggie Bonifant. I signed Reggie when he was on the practice squad with the Panthers. Honestly, Reggie believed in my pitch. He believed in the vision. He signed with me. When I signed Reggie and I left his apartment, I didn't know how I was going to handle his day to day. I had a vision,
Mm-hmm.
but actually working the day to day, I didn't know. I told Reggie, I don't care how many touchdowns you score, as long as you stay clean off the field and keep a great appearance, we can make you look like Christian McCaffrey. And that's what we did because he's from Louisville, Kentucky, and we don't have a lot of professional athletes. And the ones we have, a lot of them really aren't active in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw who is active in our community. Scroll down and I'm going to come back to Joe Vine.
Okay.
The most active athlete in the community of
This
Louisville,
guy.
Kentucky is
This guy.
Jamon Brown.
Absolutely. I can attest to that. There is definitely that guy for sure, but continue.
Exactly. And you got to think, life's a total 360. I'm going to tell you a backstory how I met Jamon. I met Jamon when he was in kindergarten, him and his twin brother Jamal. Their big sister was in my kindergarten class, second grade class, third grade class, and fifth grade class. Antoine went to the same elementary school as us at one point. We all went to Roosevelt Perry. We're all from the West End of Louisville,
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky. And what's so crazy is me and Jamon end up going to college together and having breakfast together every day at the SAC. And Jamon being my little brother, he was so real. He would pay for my breakfast because they had the cars. I didn't live on campus.
Yeah.
I worked in the athletic department, so my lunch was free once the athletic department is actually open.
Yeah.
I interned under Marvin Mitchell, senior athletic director at the University of Louisville. Marvin Mitchell looks just like you and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without Marvin Mitchell because it's guys like Jamon, Teddy, Eli, Devontae that saw me on the sidelines at every U of L football game, every U of L men's basketball game, working right alongside our athletic director. And they're like, dang, Dez is grinding. So they've been seeing me grind as much as I've been watching them grind.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget my junior year, Teddy Bridgewater threw a 55-yard touchdown to Charles Gaines. Charles Gaines don't even play offense anymore.
Yeah.
So when he caught that 55-yard post route against North Carolina, Charles Gaines is my little brother too, Teddy Bridgewater's roommate. I'm in the end zone celebrating with him. I'm on the sideline like, I didn't play, but I was always right there. So you could never tell me it was like I wasn't playing the game that I love.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when I was at the Hornets. So let me get back on how I built my team. So
Yeah.
Jamon called me, wanted to, work with Total 360 to build his brand as a player. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
come on, I would love to work with you. That was my first big client, Jamon
Mm-hmm.
Brown. Shout out to Jamon. So he was with the Falcons. He got released. He got signed by the Birds, then picked up by the Eagles. So, Jamon calls me. He says, I want to make a transition. I said, what do you want your transition to be? Because he doesn't want to retire because he's still going to work and be active in our community.
Yeah.
So now he came on board and works with us as our vice president of football operations and strategic planning. The reason why he has that strategic planning title is for every client that we bring on. So scroll down a little bit more.
Desmond, still there?
Yeah, can you not hear me?
Okay, yeah, now I can. Go ahead. You said is it strategic?
I said the reason why he has the vice president of football operations title and strategic planning, if you scroll down,
Okay.
it coexists with our director of player development, Calvin Pryor.
Yeah.
So Calvin's situation is a little different from Jamon. I told you I went to the University of Louisville and I got connections all through. Calvin is one of my close friends as well, and he's my brother. I love him to death. Calvin, has been removed from football for a couple years, and now he's trying to figure out his niche. And I said, Calvin, your niche is your niche. Nobody knows college sports better than you. I've never found a person that knows college sports better than Calvin Pryor. So I said, why don't you come on board as our director of player development and teach, these younger players how to really manage their portfolios, their brands, and their careers. And he loved the idea because I worked at the Hornets. So I'm seeing, Chris Whitney as the director of player development. And me and Seawood, I like this. So to see a person like Seawood, I gravitate to him so much. Why am I gravitating to Seawood? And he's the player development. Why does Lance Stevenson love Seawood so much? And Lance doesn't have close relationships with anybody because Seawood is very relatable. He's not judging these guys. He's really understanding where they come from and how he can help them solve their problems.
Yeah.
So then you look at my director of community engagement, my lifelong friend, Kevon Richardson. There's nobody in Louisville, Kentucky that knows sports, basically football, and is connected on campus more than Kevon. And he does a lot of my work in the community of Louisville, activating our camps, our meet and greets, our appearances. So that's how we built our team. Now you scroll back up to the top and you see who Jamon reports into. That's our senior vice president of football operations, Jovan Fleming. Now Jovan oversees all of our football clients. And as we're expanding now and building our portfolio, we're going to bring on a vice president of basketball operations. We just signed Jazz Ferguson, who plays in Italy right now, a Louisville, Kentucky native who's going into his 11th season as a professional basketball player, as well as Monique Reed on our roster, another Louisville native, played at the University of Louisville, who's entering her 7th season. And the funny story about Monique, I've been knowing her since elementary school as well. We went to the same Boys and Girls Club and played in the same elementary school basketball league. She was on Big's B team, not the A team, because she's a girl. But when I tell you, she was really better than me in elementary. I knew she was real. No lie. We would be at the Boys and Girls Club. She'd get picked up over me sometimes. And they'd be like, where's Monique? We go find her throughout the club and bring her to the court. So then if you scroll down, I'll tell you my last two co-workers. These two people are the people that are with me every day, no lie. I'll start with our vice president of sales and merchandise, Chris Lewis. I met Chris in Atlanta. We worked together, a B2B sales job. And he was a superior to me at the time because I had came in entry level, and his sales techniques and his mannerism and his verbiage and his vernacular was different to me. He's from Atlanta, but he doesn't talk like the typical Atlanta person.
Yeah.
And his mindset was very sharp. I was 25 when I met Chris, and his closet was suited and booted. And I love that because that's the transformation I was going into. So we gravitated to each other and we just kept building. I told him what I was working on, and we manifested, an avenue for him to really build and help us take Total 360 to the next level. Just like our senior director of digital media, Clinton Bennett, who also owns his own media company, Backflix Media. So Clinton, along with Juan Lambert and Devin Tooley handle all of Total 360's digital marketing, digital media initiatives. So we have a team of people that put out videos every day to capture the lifestyles of our athletes, what they do for philanthropic initiatives, just the whole nine. We want to really give our fans and our audiences a chance to really engage with us and know what's going on a day to day. And that's my team.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man. It sounds like just from hearing the stories about the people on your team, it like you said, it all goes back to what you mentioned earlier, which was networking and building those relationships, right? Like you, just because you all, a lot of you all from the same town, obviously everybody from the same hometown don't get along. But it was something about you and your personality that was able to bring all of these like minds together and to create these connections and for them to trust in you. I mean, that says a lot about you, man. I mean, I'm just be honest. That says a whole lot about you. The fact that they were able
Nah,
to, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm,
why
I'm,
don't
a,
you say that?
I'm gonna be real. It's not about me. It's about our future leaders of tomorrow, and it's all about the kids, and that's who we cater towards. All of our athletes, all of our coworkers, we're all about building our future leaders of tomorrow because we personally know, and you can attest to this, Jeff. It was so many opportunities out there we really didn't know about until college that even existed. Like I didn't even know they gave out degrees in sport administration. How do I have two of them now?
Mm,
You got to
yeah,
make it make sense.
yeah.
They wanted me to study business administration at the University of Kentucky, and I was bored to death. I'm not gonna lie to you. So bored, I start failing, and me failing is just showing I'm not giving effort.
hmm Yeah, absolutely. Once again, I'm talking to Desmond Davidson of Total 360 Management. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, Des, tell me about the process of adding a new client. You spoke a little bit earlier about your latest edition, or one of your latest editions, which is JJ Weaver in college. How does that change now? Like, does it get tricky messing, like getting involved with college athletes now that the NIL stuff is there and things like that? And how has it been working with a college athlete and helping grow his brand from the, honestly, from the very beginning up until, where his future can eventually take him?
Yeah, shout out to JJ. Justin Weaver's he's special. I've never met a person like Justin. I know a lot of athletes, but Justin's situation is different. Justin actually reached out to me via Instagram, just how you reached out
Yeah.
to Husky for me. Like people reach out to close liked friends to get in contact with me. I hope people aren't afraid to just follow 323 DES. You can reach out to me directly too, but it was because of a close relationship I have with somebody that's close to JJ. Shout out to D Mike, the Michael Jackson, who's first team All State, number retired at J Town High School, was an All American running back in college. And D Mike told I can't honestly tell you what D Mike told Justin about Total 360 because that's the conversation I want to have with D Mike in person. But I told D Mike I appreciate everything he does, but I'm a genuine person and I like to feel the energy. So I want to wait to have that conversation in person because how the company truly works, I didn't even have to really pitch my company to JJ because
Okay.
someone already told him everything we do and what we do and how we do it. So it was more of JJ coming to me and telling me he has an opportunity to utilize his NIL likeness and he hadn't done so and he wanted to work. JJ was ready to work. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Here at Total 360 Management, during the actual season, I try to stay away from my players as much as possible because we have a mantra. We hold our hats on keeping the main thing the main thing. So me and JJ talked and I told him, all right, cool. You coming off an injury. Everybody wants to know, what are you going to do this season? You the comeback kid for your team. You're starting outside linebacker. You're not 100% all the way, but you're close because you've been rehabbing and working hard getting there. You're the comeback kid. And I told him he was the comeback kid. And I just kept saying that because I personally give people that I talk to on a daily basis a nickname. And that comeback kid was just a nickname. And then we start spelling it with the K because he goes to Kentucky. Then he gets nominated for the comeback award. So I'm like, JJ, I told you we manifested that. Then, his mother and his stepfather, shout out to Miss Stacy and Mr. Eugene. The way it works for JJ is a team effort because honestly, to anybody out there working with collegiate players in the NIL situation, you have to be very careful that you follow all the guidelines, not only of the university, but also the state guidelines, because they look at us as registered agents. Even though I'm not an agent, I'm only a manager, they look at us as an agent in Kentucky. So we had to go through the paperwork, make sure we have all of our T's crossed and I's dotted. That's it. Just you have to have a clear channel of communication working with these collegiate athletes, because if not, you can be the reason why they're ineligible, and you don't want that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Once again, I'm talking to Desmond Davidson of Total 360 Management. Here's the website. You can go check it out. Check out their initiatives. Check out their staff. Check out their shop. They got merch on there. Be sure to do that. Now, Desmond, I'll get you out of here on this, man. So, what is the future? You said, this is something you've been working on essentially for 10 years. You've been in business officially for 5 years. What does the next 5 or 10 years or the future looks like for Total 360 Management? Are you looking to add more clients? Are you looking to expand your staff? Like what does it look like? To satisfy you, what does the next, the future of Total 360 Management look like?
As far as expanding my staff, I would have to talk with my executive assistant, who's not on the website, who I have to add because I just recently hired her a few weeks ago, Ashley Lewis. I'm really not looking right now to expand my team because we have everything we need to be successful, honestly. I'm going to be real. At first, it was just one employee, just me. So now I have a group of, friends, really family members who really trust the vision. Last year, I'm going to keep it real. That's all I can do. I apologize.
Yeah, hey, man, that's all we asked for.
And shout out to Benny the Butcher. Last year was about branding. This year is about expanding. So as we close 2021, we're still trying to expand. So now what we're doing is, you're a businessman. Q4 just started. And Q4 is on a roll for us. October, honestly, has been one of our best months of the year. So we're trying to continue to, collectively as a team, sketch out what Q1 looks like in 2022. Honestly, we're just trying to expand. Where that takes us for the foreseeable future, I'm not sure. But if we can continue to get more athletes to buy in on, helping shape our future leaders of tomorrow the right way, then we can continue to just impact urban communities all across the nation and also the world, because we have players in Italy and also Egypt. So we just really want to just make sure that no matter what, there's no kids out there saying that they can't do something because of their circumstances. We never want to let their circumstances define themselves. I have to pause really quickly and give a big shout out to my brother, Demarion Fleming. He is the executive director of Sowing Seeds with Faith. We don't have an official partnership in documents, so nobody can, go out and try to find those government documents. It's a handshake agreement because that's my big brother. He's always been my big brother. When I grew up, I played for the California Jets in the Muhammad Ali League. I was a Pee-wee. Demarion was a senior. So, the Pee-wees watch the seniors play.
Yeah.
Just how the seniors watch the Pee-wees play. And I always was like, man, Mari smooth. He always looked out for us. And you fast forward 15 years later, now he has his own nonprofit organization helping the most kids in the city of Louisville, doing whatever he can, not just for the kids. Like, it's so beautiful. I seen Demarion and Twani Beckham do the same thing, but different. Twani gave back to, I don't even know the amount of mothers in West Louisville. I don't think it was for Mother's Day, but Demarion did the same thing for Mother's Day, a retreat, cater brunch, gifts, boom, boom, boom. Now, Jeff, I'm gonna be real with you, and I'm gonna let you close on this.
Yeah.
You see who's over my right shoulder, right?
Yeah.
And I told you my gift in life, right?
Yeah.
And they tried to shut him up, but he kept fighting. He kept fighting. Every call I take, I have to let the world see this picture because that's where I'm from. So it's our job to make sure we help build the next Ali. You know
Absolutely.
why the whole city of Louisville loves Ali? Because he was always in arm's reach. So I keep my athletes in arm's reach. So now Jamon Brown and Demarion Fleming have partnered together. I'm a one percenter, Jeff. You're a one
Yeah.
percenter. Jamon's a one percenter. We're all one percenters. The difference between you being a one percenter and me being a one percenter, I've already told you. I bring everybody together. I've
Hmm.
always had that gift from God. People, they don't buy into my vision. They buy into the vision. It's not
Yeah.
my vision. God placed this on my heart to spread it to everybody else and execute. Now, I will fail sometimes, I will succeed, but the one thing we will never do at Total 360 is quit.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that is a perfect way to end it, man. Once again, I'm talking to Desmond Davidson of Total 360 Management. You can go check out their website. They got beautiful things on there. A lot great things going on, especially if you're from the city of Louisville. This is a guy that will go down in the history books for sure. Thank you, Desmond, so much for checking in with me today. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time.